Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your magical moon message. This is the Peace Dealer, and I hope you gain the utmost of quality from this message. Huge shout outs to my team, Mystical Illuminations. If you're not aware, I actually have another YouTube channel and Instagram and TikTok called Mystical Illuminations. This is the update and evolution of an idea I started as late or early as 2015. If anyone remembers, back when I was Magic Mike working with Astrolata, I actually originally had a team and went by Mystic Illuminations. So this is really just a revival of that. We coming through full force. And for those of you who may not be aware, like we got a Justice League. I don't know what else to say. Like everyone on the team are heavy hitters. So yeah, you'll be seeing a lot more of us moving forward. And I'm going to be doing a webinar in less than an hour. All right, going in on Taurus season. So if you haven't yet booked your tickets, don't miss this party. But other than that, you'll also be able to access the replay after. The moon is in Aquarius, touring Saturn. Some people see Saturn as Satan, which is adorable. But we also have the sun with Uranus in Taurus. This 10th house aspect is having you understand the projections amongst the value of your worth. I really like this aspect because you're effectively understanding the total knowledge of everything that your value is worth. And there is an understanding that is going to fix itself and imprint itself in your consciousness to where nothing can really shake you. This is adding a level of strength that if you don't have integrity, this will hurt. Like for people who kind of overestimate their worth, this can kind of be a harsh reality check. But for those of you who remember it is quality over quantity, then this is going to let you know that you've really leveled up. And not only have you really leveled up, but this, if you think about it, is you understanding since the new moon in Aries and what we'll have in Taurus, the moon in Aquarius is giving you the knowledge of the success of what the Taurus energy is worth. So it's like after you put out a new brand of sneakers and you now have actual analytics to understand the exact demographics of everyone who bought your shoe. Now you're coming into results that confirm projections around how much it will sell, and you're understanding the Saturn, the total knowledge of who even contributes this. This is now the collective Aquarian aspect of the individual Taurus value. You're understanding what the rest of the world feels about what you're worth. Okay, now Uranus is here. You have to lead this. Like Uranus square Saturn is Jay-Z playing, it's Kanye West playing his music for Jay-Z, and they're not trying to hear it. They're not trying to hear it. You feel me? You feel me? It's something that is indescribable of value, but given that it's not the mainstream focus in a sense, you will understand in ways your value is undermined. This can also work the other way around, where something that is not really that valuable gets overhyped unnecessarily because a cash cow was mistaken for a star, for those of you who actually understand that matrix and speak business. But the thing here that you want to really be mindful of is lean in towards the unconventional nature of the value you are carving and manifesting in. You don't necessarily, like, once again, we've already established, you don't have to go out your way to prove value in any context as much as align with those who already value what you have. Because once again, you watching this might think that it's pointless to spend $20,000 on air, on spirit and air, just a portrait. That's just spirit and air. If I wanted to sell you that, like you might think that it's pointless to auction that, but it's sold for over $10,000. So now what you really think doesn't matter because that's the value it's been sold at. And this is the unconventional Uranus and Taurus nature of stretching you out the box of conventional evaluation and appraisal. Okay, this is simultaneously a breakthrough because you're also carving in with, and you want to draw into the stubborn nature of Taurus, not only the total value of this, but also in the face of, with squares and oppositions with the South Node, hate, shade, actual outside influences that, because you're holding on to your value, now that you don't give them the opportunity to affect your inner space, really, you start to see their true character. You start to see how they squirm when you take away their ability to feel better than another. Because as insecure people need others to feel better than. A transit like this takes you out the equation. They can't rank up on you because you have your own value. You're not giving your power away. And it's gonna make certain people uncomfortable when they realize they never had any value at that huge level that they thought they did, that the quality or the quantity that they had didn't have quality. And now that type of stuff is paying right now. You know what I'm saying? For example, you're going to see a lot of this. People with like millions of followers, right? And they put something out versus someone with like 5,000 followers who sells more than the person who has millions of followers, because followers don't equal money like you would think they do, right? Quality over quantity. I'm going to say that again. Like, you're going to see more that dynamic where certain people might have like 5,000 subscribers, but they make more money than people who have like hundreds of thousands of subscribers because of quality over quantity. Okay? The most important lesson that this is instilling, this transit is going to remind you that being popular is irrelevant. Being popular is irrelevant. Having quality is king. It's queen. Period. Regardless, the fact that almost everybody, let's say it was an album that heard your album, loved it, even if a lot of people didn't listen to it, it's still quality. It's still timeless. A lot of people are realizing that right now, that the collective illusion of what determines what's hot isn't really hot, isn't really the dictate. It's just a game. Okay, so that's gonna be your decision. Like, are you gonna focus more on the negatives of the Saturn Aqua, or are you going to use that to foster the Uranus Taurus? Taurus is understand the assignment. Look at every Taurus, like they understand the assignment. So really take stock of not just what's working with you. This knowledge of your value is going to give you a much more advanced way to manifest what you're already manifesting. You're manifesting the knowledge of the power you ascended, by the way, as we started this transit. So this gauntlet down the second half of the zodiac is supernaturally implementing magical and or higher level ways to make anything of substance and value. I don't even want to bring money into the equation, because if money wasn't a factor, how would you still barter what you have? Like, this is changing the game. This is manifesting the change of game that we had a couple months ago. So that being said, the presence of the South Node in Scorpio is going to expose who's really manipulating you versus who really believes in you. Okay? because Scorpio will change the game. Like when someone is actually pure in your corner, that will change the game. You only need one person to believe in you. That's the purity of Scorpio. But the negative of Scorpio is the manipulative side that will really just drain and take from you, right? So this is where you have to have the right discernment to know which side of that coin you're dealing with. And not only that, listen, your confidence is going to threaten people who you didn't expect, especially people who you may have felt were in your corner, but now just like, you know, weirdness, little things in their behavior are starting to show you, okay, like maybe this is totally different. Like, and it's all because of how they're reacting to like certain people are seeing you glow up and certain people are seeing you manifest your value in ways you don't see, and it scares them because they were comfortable seeing you at a certain level, and growing out of that shakes up that aspect of the confidence, mainly because they're insecure. Like these people live their whole life having to belittle people so that they have something they can feel better about them. WLBs, weak little bitches. But you're not a weak little bitch, okay? So you're going to really exalt in an advanced way the 10th house nature of this transit. You are literally manifesting success that in 2 weeks when the moon is in Leo, you party and enjoy. You manifest it through Gemini, that second house axis after the new moon. So pay attention to this transit. You're going to be downloading all sorts of knowledge about what you're worth. And that Saturn is going to hook it up. But there's a slight to it where somebody can play not somebody, I'm not going to point the finger, but because no one can make you feel anything, right? So you don't necessarily want to allow a collective influence to deceive you into believing that what you have is not of value. For example, I'm not gonna say a name, right? But I'm gonna use an album. Like somebody's album might not have sold that many copies, but it was fucking fire. Like you can't deny that it's quality. So if you listen to the narrative will tell you, well, that artist isn't that dope. But if you listen to everyone objectively who heard that album, objectively they'll tell you it's fire. So is that artist not dope because of a narrative, right? Because of all sorts of this is how Uranus is going to push the limits of certain narratives that are bullshit and were never true. It's just what people want to run with when it suits them. So keep that in mind, because for those of you who understand this assignment, this can literally change a lot of your situations overnight, where you're understanding a systematic higher advanced sense of how to like flip the jug or like finesse the game, or I don't even have to finesse the game, but like really just put some set fixed signs, set some type of knowledge or system or order. Why? Because when the moon goes over Jupiter and Neptune, all this is going to change. 11th house, rewards from career. So you're coming into some kind of reward today and tomorrow. That's that 10th house axis. 11th house is going to have you blow this out of proportion, and it's going to be this phase of the gauntlet, then the balsamic phase, then the new moon. Like you're getting set for some extraordinary change at divine levels that are going to be supernatural. Now, on the note of superpowers, you've already activated the power through Aries. So you're understanding the higher knowledge of how to manifest this function physically through your 5 senses. And it's going to get very electric. Think of Saturn as the power bank with which you can draw cosmic energy from, so that its ruler, Uranus and Taurus, grounds that electricity so that you can actually experiment harnessing energy in ways you have never harnessed energy ever in your entire life, which has a lot to do with harnessing the collective energy around you. These new concepts are going to open up, whether through synchronicities or people just teaching it to you. For those of you who have always wanted to harness chi practically in a way with which you can harness your own energy in your cells to do things, welcome. This is gonna shock you into it, seriously, okay? And I hope you enjoyed this magical moon message. Y'all stay blessed as always. Look, you have a lot of people who they're demon possessed, like they're really evil in their core, and they put on this mask like they're not, but they're weak little bitches, and you see through them, and they're threatened by your daily success, and there's nothing they can do. So don't give away that position. Make them squirm. Godspeed. Peace.